Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and today I'm using the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. I absolutely love it. So this reading is for, oops, and there's our first card. Okay. Well, let me move it here for a moment. This reading is for Friday, August 13th, 2021. So what is it that we need to know in order to evolve our souls, come back home to who we truly are in spirit? What is it that we need to know? Okay. So, of course, we have Sandpiper Spirit here. Coyote Spirit. Ooh. And Badger. I love this, actually. Okay, so let's dive in. So here's our theme. So when life is a little tricky, when you seem to be going down a path that you've been working at for quite some time, and suddenly things aren't working out, and you're having to rethink and regroup and wonder what the heck is going on. And this can come through sometimes, with relationships, where somebody else in the relationship is not acting like they usually do, and you get really confused. And if that's the case, if it is relationship, these cards are telling us how to deal with it. The way to deal with it would be to say to the person, or to have the courage, actually, first you have to have the courage to be fearless and bold enough to invite them into a conversation where you can kind of play with all the possibilities as to what's really going on. Like, what's really going on? Are we in an area of unconsciously miscommunicating? Because in relationship, another person's subconscious will trigger your own subconscious and unconscious. That's how it works. And it's meant to evolve us into the state of love if both parties are if they're willing to do their work, and if they're doing their work to understand who they truly are and who they are not. So we'll get triggered. We'll get triggered we will trigger each other, basically, is what happens. It's a constant back and forth, play. And you know how sandpipers are down by the ocean. They run out with the wave, and then, of course, they're looking for little critters to eat as the wave goes out, but then they stay out there, and then the wave starts coming in, and then they run back in. So it's that constant, like going out to the edge. And sometimes in relationship, we push each other to an edge, and then we come back. And so if you're in a relationship where you're pushing and they're withdrawing, and then they push and you withdraw, and you go back and forth like that, that can be really tricky. So if you come to the place where you can say to the person you're in relationship with, hey, can we play around in some dynamics here and figure out what's really going on? Because here's what I'm doing. If you know yourself well enough in your relationship dynamics, and they will always mirror the relationship dynamics you had with your parents and family members. So if you had siblings who were, if there was a lot of sibling rivalry, that'll come out in your friendships, that'll come out in your relationships, that'll come out in your workplace. If you always felt rejected and unworthy somehow at home, that will come out in your relationships and workplace. All different relationship dynamics will come out. will come through, and it always mirrors the relationship that we had with our parents, caretakers, teachers, friends, any pain we endured along the way, and also how we hurt others, because no one's perfect and we all make mistakes. So the deal is just to know your relationship dynamics, and once you know that, then you can come to the other person. You can be fearless and bold and come to the other person and say, you know what? I think I'm projecting my issues from my dad onto this relationship, and I'm putting stuff on you that doesn't have anything to do with you, and I'm sorry for that. But here's how I'm really feeling. And so you want to use I statements. You don't want to say, you're doing that and it's making me do this. You want to say, I'm feeling this way, and now I realize it's because of this, and then you say whatever that is. And if you're in a good partnership, if you're in a good relationship, they'll go, oh, that's what it is. Okay, I'm so sorry. Well, now that I know that, I'll be careful. But meanwhile, let me see if I can help you work through it. Let's do some role playing. Let's play in that field of whatever that issue is. Now, that is something you can do when you're in a conscious relationship where two people are working on themselves. Now, if you're not, then Coyote Spirit will come in and help you get to another get you out of that relationship and into another one, or get you out of that relationship and back to just the relationship with yourself for a while until you work through it, and then you attract a whole new level of conscious relationship. So we're always working through the unconscious, and it goes back, it's just like that, that Carl Jung quote I always say, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. But it doesn't have to be fate, because once you make the unconscious conscious, then you start directing your own life. And then you create your own fate. So be willing to play in that, where you can use everything that life brings to you, everything that seems like a detour. Know that it's a divine detour. It's meant to bring you in contact with any unconscious areas of relating with life on any level that doesn't serve you anymore. And then be fearless and bold enough to look into the mirror all the time. Keep playing with that. Keep playing with the mirror. Keep playing with being courageous. And you'll work your way through it until you find your way home. I promise you. So, okay, and if you need any help with that, that's my favorite thing to do, is to help people with relationship issues and your any issues in coming home to yourself. That's who I am. That's my job. So if you want a personal reading or a process session to help you find out what's really going on inside of you, or to just be a witness. So many times I have sessions with people where I don't hardly say a word, but I just listen and be a witness, and they're like, they get to their own truth without me saying a thing. I love it when that happens. So but with this reading, I feel complete, and I'm going to get this uploaded and send you lots of love. Okay, take good care. Bye.